Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Horath and this is my point of view from the Star Trek New Horizons Clash of the Devs multiplayer game. I have been invited by the devs of the mod for Stellaris Star Trek New Horizons along with many other YouTubers and streamers to play in the Clash of the Devs. I'm honored to take part in that, and I was not able to sort of stream that while I was playing. I actually have some very capable colleagues who are doing that, who are basically playing the observers, the Q continuum as they're calling themselves, who are looking all across the map. So if you want to see me play live, it's actually going to be streamed live by my colleagues Kado Marahu and Bane. I'm going to link those channels in the description so that you can follow them. And we're playing every Sunday from 9 o'clock in the evening until 12 o'clock in the evening German time. So Central European summertime as of yet. And so you can actually see us live. And I'm playing the Vaadwaur. So I'm right next to the Borg, basically. I'm in the Delta Quadrant, I think. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. Yeah, I'm in the Delta Quadrant together with the Borg. Most human players are in the Alpha Quadrant, so that's a bit of a thing. But yeah, we had only three players in the Delta Quadrant. I'm gonna put a list of all the players into the section, but I wanted to give you my point of view because the VOD were actually quite interesting. I've sped this up. I had to speed up 3 hours of gameplay footage into what, about 15 minutes or something. So it is fast. It should be okay. Maybe you can just turn down the YouTube video to half speed if it is too fast for you. So what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to push the exploration. We're starting quite strong with 2 planets with a lot of population, but I know that the Borg, who are in the next spiral arm, are coming for me. The Borg will definitely be coming. They're being played by Shaggo, one of the Star Trek New Horizons devs, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna assimilate my empire at some point. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to push growth as much as possible to basically, do the same thing that I did in the Klingon series, but without crippling my research. So that's kind of the key, trying to balance expansion and balance the tech gain. We have been playing on normal speed for the first part of it, and at some point we switched to fast speed. But as the galaxy gets more discovered and also gets more developed, the games will probably be going down and down because it's just a huge amount of entities that have to be calculated. That's just the way and the nature of things in Stellaris. Well, yeah, so we're starting out here with 2 planets. I've been trying to push north first, and we can already see that I found Vaadwaur, which is a system of my northern neighbor, who at this point I could not attack because here spaceports are actually very strong in Star Trek New Horizons and ships are pretty expensive. So it takes a while until you're strong enough to actually push past a spaceport, and that's what I was basically trying to do. We do have some rather strong weapons, I think, what was it, anti-matter protons or something, as the Vaadwaur, so I'm hoping that that's going to work out, and I found some southern neighbors. So this area of the galaxy, or this part of the spiral arm, is actually pretty populated. There's not much north of me apart from the Vaadwaur, and there's not much south of my southernmost neighbor. So I'm trying to take this whole inner spiral arm that I'm in, and I sort of have a bit of an agreement with the Borg right next to me that we're gonna settle our own respective spiral arms and then maybe come into conflict later. But I have no idea if I'm not getting backstabbed. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm pushing for my first colony here, I think. Yeah, colony ship is moving. I wanted to go for the western planet, but then I saw a better target in the south. And I think I settled that then, just to sort of box that grey neighbor over there in, stop him from expanding, just keep most of the area for myself. That's always something that I try to do in the beginning of my Stellaris games, trying to make a land grab. I found some primitives that I'm going to attack and enslave. The Vaadwaur are actually Slavers, actually quite an unsavory species. I think they're mainly, yeah, I think they're exclusively in the Voyager series. It's been a while since I watched Voyager, so I don't really have them all that clear in my head. Don't have a super clear mental image, but I've read a little bit about their backstory, and yeah, they are slavers who I think froze themselves for quite a long while, and I'm now kind of pissed that their tech is so bad compared to everyone else, I guess. If I understood that correctly. So yeah, you can see that I'm going for rapid expansion, taking over those primitives, settling another planet, enslaving those guys, and just pushing for more science. I'm also building an additional construction ship. If you're playing on only normal or fast, you sort of feel that you have to do more than if you were playing it as a single player, since I can never pause. So whenever I have downtimes, I tend to think about things that I can do, and I just end up going for more construction ships. Trying to keep them busy is a little bit of a thing, where you have to try to push your mineral income first. I think I succeeded in that all right, I'd say. Okay, so now we found another neighbor in the south, the brown guys. Actually, I can't go in and look at their name, but yeah, they're just future conquest targets. So don't worry about learning their name. It isn't really necessary. They're not being played by any player. The nearest player is, as I said, the Borg. Some other player, yeah, Shaggo is to the east in the other spiral arm, and to the north we had Captain. I don't know. I'm gonna put a list into the description of all the players. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, a friend of Shaggo's who actually took the Talaxians by mistake. He was actually supposed to take the Tholians. It was a friend of Shaggo's who sort of decided to jump in because one of the other devs, Harel, did not have the time to play on last Sunday. A-Spec was also not present for this episode or for this session, but will be present for later episodes. He's going to take over the Klingons. And then we have a bunch of additional people in the Alpha Quadrant. I think we're going to sort of see these guys once we move further south and actually discover them. For now, it was a rather quiet session, mainly me trying to get to a power level where I could take over my nearest neighbor. So that's sort of what I'm working towards at this whole point, doing a lot of research, a lot of surveying in the area, and there's my southernmost neighbor. So these white guys, they have been, I think, most successful in terms of colonizing south, but we're gonna eat all of these guys, and I think I started with the northernmost neighbor, taking those guys over just to sort of clear out the area. There are not too many planets that we can really settle all that well, which is a bit of a problem, but I found some additional primitives over there that actually 2 primitives that I was gonna take over, because as you can see above them are a couple of red planets with very low habitability for my guys. So I thought, why not take the primitives and thereby expand my territory? So I've been growing really fast. At this point, I'm also over the amount of core sector systems. And as always, I am having some energy problems, which later on is actually... Those energy problems are going to hurt me quite a bit. You can see that the fleet power is going up to almost 1,000 now. I think I waited until I had 2,000 or even 2,400 until I felt safe enough to make a move. Research was still going strong at this point, mainly because of orbital stations and stuff. We have 3 construction ships going now. We have 3 science ships going now. Shaggo, the Borg player, told me that he has 5 construction ships or something. And I think he had mineral income of 150. I have, I think, 100 now at this point, which is good. I sort of managed to overtake him at some point in terms of mineral income, if he hasn't lied to me. I don't know how devious he's gonna be. We've all agreed not to watch each other's point of view, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so we're moving forward. looking at the diplomatic status of these guys. I've never really done a video that I have then voiced afterwards, so that's kind of a new format for me. It's actually quite interesting. I've been struggling a while with what to do with the series, if I could actually just commentate while I was playing, but then decided against it because we were all connected on Discord, talking with each other. Each quadrant had their own chat, but in the beginning we were all together in one chat when we were setting up the game and all that. And I decided that it would be difficult to commentate when I also was trying to talk with my opponent. So I decided to do some time lapse thing after the event. If you want to see me, then you can just do that on the YouTube channels of the two moderators. So we're basically going for a format that is very similar to the Paradox Clash of the Devs games that they do for Europa Universalis. That was the basic idea, and I'm actually very thankful to the people that are moderating this thing. So as you can see, my northern neighbor has now put a frontier outpost right next to me. It seems that the AI is also doing the same thing in the mod that it does in the base game now with patch 1.8, where it is very aggressive in terms of putting down frontier outposts, trying to grab land that it thinks it wants. I really like that. I like that the AI has become stronger and stronger and better at what it should do. I definitely appreciate that. I like it. And so what are we doing? Where are we in terms of fleet power? 1179. It's still not enough. I'm actually watching this in my editing program, so the numbers are a little bit small. I'm trying to build up my planets. I do have a significant energy deficit at this point. And that is going to come and bite me in the ass at some point. Because I will literally run out of energy when I'm in a war. I've never really done energy that badly. But it was mainly down to the fact that I was in a mad rush to claim as much territory as possible before someone else takes it, even though I didn't really need to, since I'm kind of safe. It will take ages until any of the other players can come towards me. But I thought I'd rather take out my interior opposition first. I think I actually went for the cruisers at this point. Looks like it, yeah. I think, and I named this design the Python. These guys do have some sort of a snake theme going on, so I was trying to stay in tone with that. So I think our first ship is called the Asp, and then we have the Adder or something. And then the cruisers are the Pythons, and the bigger ships we're going to name the Anaconda. So I'm basically taking that from Elite Dangerous. Now I'm designing these guys. The Pythons need some new components, I guess. I think I got some new ones just a second ago. And now I'm sort of thinking about, yeah, I guess I'm ready to take out the northern opponent, because they actually look rather weak. They only have 2 planets, and I think they'll start colonizing a third in a second. You can see that I settled another planet over there, just to push out my borders a little bit and to actually push these guys back. I will have to be a little bit more deliberate in the next episode. Just trying not to take as many planets, and first build up my civilization a little bit. Otherwise, I guess we're going to fall too far behind. And I think tech is the only way really to get past the Borg. I think I have to sort of build up ships that can do some proper armor penetration. I think that's the only way to really fight the Borg, since they have no shields. So that's probably something that we want to go towards pretty heavily. Just going for stuff that has bonus damage to armor or ignores armor. That's probably what we want. Yeah, the southern guys have actually expanded quite a bit. It's going to be, I think 2 of them are also in a defensive pact, which is going to be a bit nasty to take them down. But at this point, I think they're all weaker than me. So it's just a bit, just a matter of clever tactics, taking them out. I think the white ones and the blue ones, the southern blue ones, the lighter blue ones are actually friends. That will get some thruster specialization, but I wasn't able to actually put these on my fleets as of yet. You can see that we're still heavily in a deficit, and I'm moving my fleet up, getting ready to attack the northern guy, the Vaadwaurs. So first I'm moving into that system, thinking maybe I can destroy a spaceport without a fleet being there, but they didn't have any spaceport in that system. So then I thought, okay, I'll take it with my troops, and then I'm just sending my fleet back into their home system, because at this point I can see that I am going to run out of energy. So I thought, better make the most of the fighting power that you have. If you lose the fleet, you're going to be positive in energy again, and if you win the battle, then basically the war is won, because they probably don't have a second fleet, and maybe they have one additional spaceport in the other system, but not more. So if I can destroy that one, and I can start bombarding, they're basically finished. I've won the war in space, and yeah, that actually worked out pretty nicely. But as you can see, I'm gonna run out in a second. And I did have to pull resources out of one of my sectors for 100 influence, which is a pretty stupid use of influence, if you ask me, but there was no way around. I also found a northern neighbor who seemed to be sort of robotic guys. Yeah, and I'm actually at 0 energy now, so my fleet power is halved, 1200. Things are not looking that great, but I'm still going to win that war now, because they have no power in space. Yeah, and I've taken them. Okay, and now I'm frantically trying to get back out of the energy deficit by mainly putting fusion plants onto the spaceports. I've just researched that tech, so I'm upgrading all the spaceports to sort of try and null their costs. Since I don't really have any specialized planets at this point, and slaves are not very good at producing energy. They're only good at producing food and minerals, so that is definitely causing a bit of a problem. I should have probably thought about the appropriate strategy for a slaver race a little bit beforehand. Since, yeah, you probably need to use your population more to do science and energy if you already know that you're going to have slaves that are going to take care of minerals and food. Okay, so now at this point, I think we stop the game and we're kind of talking amongst ourselves. I guess that's probably why things are no longer happening. Yeah, I guess we saved the game, and we're gonna continue from this point. I'm still still down 4 energy per month, so I really have to push. I also have some high reward risk, but that can't be helped. But yeah, if you want to see how the thing continues, if I can actually hold up against the Borg, then please consider tuning in tomorrow on Sunday, every Sunday for the foreseeable future, until we're actually finished with the game. And I'm gonna host. I mean, if you're not gonna follow any of the links, just go to my Twitch channel at the appropriate time, which is 9 o'clock in the evening, German time, so Central European Summertime, CEST. I'm gonna play 3 hours. I'm gonna host Kado Marahu on my channel, who's sort of going to do the commentating with Bane. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a blast to actually play this, and it's also a very different experience for me to play Stellaris with other people, but not do any sort of commentating. I find that very interesting. Also, I'm being a bit of an underdog, so it's probably... It's very likely that I get killed off by the Borg, just because they have really good ships, so I have to use all my abilities that I have sort of gained over the last months, ever since Stellaris came out. We'll see how it goes. So for now, thanks for watching, and I hope I see you for the game. I'm going to continue to post these points of views, just very compressed, just to something below 20 minutes, just compressing these 3 hours, just so that you can see what I've been up to in these games. Thanks. Bye bye.